What's up, guys? It's Gorilla Vinny. Thanks for coming through to another virtual workout. We'll do it like we always do. We'll start with a warm-up, go through 9 rounds, 3 minutes apiece, 1 minute of rest in between, and then we'll end with a cool down and a stretch. As always, safety is number one priority, so please, throughout the workout, go at your own pace, take breaks when you need to, stay hydrated, drink water, and modify exercises when and where necessary. I might ask you to do something that, for one reason or another, whether it's an injury or inflexibility, whatever it may be, you may need to modify the movement. So please do so to the best of your ability. But as much as you can, stick to what I do. And the more you're able to over time, the better you get at these movements. So let's do our best. We came to work out. We came to learn. Let's make it happen. All right, let's begin with jumping jacks. Remember to meet your hands at the top, your feet at the bottom, and stay light on your feet throughout. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and try to stay as steady as possible. You have 8 seconds to go. Stay relaxed and just get that blood flowing. 3, 2, 1, and time. Good. Now we'll be going into high knees. Try to get your knees up to your waist. Here we go. Knees up to your waist. Stay light on your toes. Try to keep the heels off the ground. And you could pump your arms the way I'm doing as well. Your goal is to stay relaxed. Warm up that stomach. Warm up those legs. Warm up those calves and ankles as well. Staying loose the whole time. From here, we're going to go into squats. Keep your feet slightly wider than your shoulders, and then start going down. Bring that butt to about as low as your knees if you can. Just sit back like you're sitting in a chair. Keep your feet flat, and try not to let your knees go past your toes. Deep breaths in and out. Inhale as you go down, exhale as you come out. And time. Good. From here, we'll be going down to the floor. Push-up position, shoulders over your wrists, and mountain climbers. Run those knees to your chest. Try to keep your body weight forward so that your lower body is relaxed and light, and then you can use your stomach muscles to drive your knees up towards your chest. Three, 2, 1, and time. From here, we'll go into push-ups. Keep those wrists wider than your shoulders, and down and up. Here we go. Chest down, as close as you can to the ground. Make sure your eyes are past your fingertips. Try to keep your back straight, your legs straight, and extend those arms all the way up as you come up. 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Elbows down onto the ground. We'll go into plank position now, and then we'll start rotating the hips left to right. As you do this, try to keep your elbows evenly pressed into the ground and loosen up those hip muscles while you stretch out those obliques. Side to side, working the stomach, working the core. For another 3, 2, 1, and time. On your back, we'll finish with bicycle crunches. Try to meet your knee to your opposite elbow. Twisting your shoulders, bicycling your legs. Last 10 seconds. For another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Very good. Let's get back to our feet. Let's get into shadow boxing. So as we shadow box, our main objective should be to stay loose and relaxed and kind of warm up our body and our brain for the type of movements we're about to do. We don't have to go too crazy. We don't have to do anything too advanced. We can keep it simple and stick with the fundamentals. But you should be throwing jabs and crosses, hooks, uppercuts, and a mixture of the different types of combinations and strikes you might want to throw throughout your workout. Again, we've done more standard, regular movements, more generic movements like squats and push-ups, things that the body hopefully doesn't have to think too much about. And now we're starting to increase our range of motion and be more specific about how we're moving around and, again, prepping the body for what's going to go down for the next 30 or so minutes. So stay light on your feet. Try to have good form, good technique. Maintain your breathing. You got 5 more seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, for today's lesson, we're going to be focusing on checking and swooping, blocking with the legs essentially. There's the check, and what I learned as the swoop. Most of the combinations, or pretty much all the combinations, will involve that. We'll do some drills just to get you good at it. and then we'll incorporate it into different combos. So first thing for the first round, we're going to get in our fighting stance as we always do. All I want us to do is check with the front leg, throw a jab cross, check with the back leg, throw a cross hook. When you do so, remember, we're not crunching into the check. I'm not coming down. I'm in my position. I'm bringing my legs to my shoulders, my legs to my shoulders. Make sure you flex your foot. Sometimes we can be a little bit relaxed with the foot, but you want to kind of flex if you can to make that anterior tibialis, that front part of your shin, nice and flexed, strong. Also, make sure you don't bring a knee to the middle. Notice my elbows, my knees come right to the outside of my elbow. There is a little bit of contention. The newer school people like to bring the knee to the inside of the elbow. I was told I'm more old school. I like to bring my knee to the outside of the elbow. I believe when we are blocking kicks, this is a little bit of a better base. Maybe if they go to the head, this is not as strong, but when we go to the head, I block differently anyway. So if you go somewhere else and they tell you to block with your knee on the inside, you're happy to do that. You're free to do that wherever else you go. The way I like to teach it is checking with the knee on the outside. Again, the check is just a block with the leg. They go to throw a roundhouse kick, I check it just like that. So if it's a low check, which I'll talk about sometimes, it's going to be low. If they try to kick me in the leg, I'm just going to bring my leg up enough so that they hit the weaker part of their shin on the harder part of my shin. If it's to the body, the check could go up here. It's going to go a little bit higher. But now I want a high check, jab cross, high check on the back leg, cross hook. All right, we're going to block the kicks, and then we're going to respond with strikes. There it is. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Check, jab, cross, move it around, check, cross, hook. Start slow, make sure you have balance, make sure you feel comfortable with the movement before we start throwing with a little bit of heat or with too much energy, right? I want to make sure you guys feel comfortable and you have control over the strikes before you start going too intense and then you're not able to do so, right? You're not able to throw these movements with control. So they throw that round kick, I block it, I step down with a jab cross. They throw that round kick, I block it, I step down with a cross hook. And again, you could do it both ways too. I could block with the front leg, throw the cross hook. I could block with the back leg, throw the jab cross. Either works. I want to keep it simple. Right now, we're just getting comfortable throwing the check, planting our feet, and then punching. All right? Moving around. As always, use your space. Check, pop, pop. Right? You can throw a couple in a row from the same one. Right? I want you to think about using those legs. You check, but then also immediately getting right back to your stance, feeling like you have balance under you, not checking and then throwing or falling over your feet before you throw strikes. So check, regain your position, recover, throw your punches. Check, regain your position, recover, throw your punches. Learn how to move your legs and then plant your legs and then still use your legs to drive power into your strikes, right? Keep it up. We got about 90 seconds to go. Check. I'm also playing with the two different types of hooks, the two different hand placements for the hook. What I learned as the European hook and then the American hook. European being palm down, American being palm in. Both work. I tend to go maybe a little bit more palm down towards the head, palm in towards the body, but it really depends. I prefer the palm in some cases because I feel like I'm less likely to hit my knuckle, my pinky knuckle, on someone's chin. More likely to hit that middle knuckle if I have my palm in. But it depends on my range, depends on the fighter, depends on how I throw that hook. Again, we're responding. We block, we respond with punches. We block, we respond with punches. That's 30 seconds right there. I'm going to switch it up now. Check, cross, hook. Check, jab, cross. Check, bam, bam. This is just the drill. Get us warmed up in those hips. And time. 1 minute rest. All right. So we're going to continue with using the check. We're going to do the swoop again. I'll go into that after. We're going to do an individual drill just for that. Right now, we'll do that a little bit after. For now, let's go into our first combination. So I want you to move around. We're going to start the exact same way we did. We're going to start with a check, jab, cross. We're going to dip, cross, hook, check, and roundhouse. All right, a little bit of a longer combination, but I want to use both. So check, jab, cross, dip, cross, hook, check, and then respond right with that roundhouse. All right, do it one more time slow. We got about 20 seconds till we start. Take that rest if you need it. So one more time, check, jab, cross, dip, cross, hook, check, and then step down, roundhouse. Notice after I check, then I pivot out my front foot, and I follow with that round kick. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. There it is. All right. So check, jab, cross, dip, cross, hook, check, round kick. Okay? We'll move it around. Check, jab, cross, dip, cross, hook, check, round kick. All right? From the back, so you can see what it looks like from this direction. Check, jab, cross, check, cross, hook. I'm sorry. Check, jab, cross, dip, cross, hook, check, round kick. All right? And then finally from this direction, check, jab, cross, dip, cross, hook, check, round kick. All right? Keep it moving. We're only 45 seconds in. It's a longer combination, but it uses both sides of the body. And I want you to think about the movement. Look, I was going very slow, very controlled through that. I want you to start the same way. If you feel like you have this, go to town. For some of you, this is going to be just discipline, making sure that you guys are working out and you have something to kind of follow along. Some of you are still learning. Some of you might have questions about the form and the technique. That'll be another video, so you can always contact me directly. Otherwise, this is really just to get you moving. You know the basic movements. I want you to find some flow, and I want to give you opportunities to do enough repetitions that you can get better at this, right? So again, from the top, very simple, very straightforward, depending on whatever energy you give, whether it's aggressive and intense because you already know what you're doing, or you're slowing it down because you're still learning the movements. We're going to go with that check from leg, jab, cross. I'm going to dip, cross, hook, check, and then round kick, all right? And again, you could cover the floor. You can kind of cover distance, go forward, go back with this if you want. You could hold your position. Try to envision, try to visualize what the person's doing in front of you and why you're throwing the strikes the way you are. When you check, imagine them throwing that kick. Bang, I checked. They throw that kick to the body. Boom, I blocked it. I threw that jab, cross. Then they threw something right over it. Maybe they threw a switch roundhouse. I dipped under it, right? You can come back. Some people do that. Maybe I dipped under it. I came through the cross hook. Maybe I stepped through with the cross hook. I check, bang, and I throw that roundhouse all the way through. You got 1 minute to go, gang. Keep moving. At the very least, breathe and stay comfortable. Stay confident in your stance, right? Even if you're just catching your breath, keep those heels off the ground. Keep those hands up. Keep that shoulder back. Keep that head movement. Check, jab, cross, dip, cross, hook, check, roundhouse. Right? I like to check. That's what I do. Sometimes you see when I shadow box, after I spin through a kick, I have a tendency to pick my leg up just in case they go to kick me, and I pick the leg up out of the way, or I block in case they kick me out of my spin. Let's say I miss. I go to kick them. Boom, I miss. Boom, this is a block as I come through. All right, you got 7 seconds. Keep it moving. And time. Good. 1 minute. That was round 2. All right, same thing. We're going to continue with the checks. We're going to start with that back. We're going to check with the back leg this time. So from now, I want to jab, jab, cross the stomach. Then you're going to check with this back leg, step it down, cross hook, cross uppercut. We're going to switch knee. All right, so it's just a one check. We're just trying to put them into the the combinations into our thinking. We want it to be a consistent part of how we move, how we throw. So jab, jab, cross to the stomach. I come up, I check, cross uppercut, and I switch knee. All right. So one more time before we start. Jab, jab to the face, cross to the stomach. I come up, I check, I step down, cross uppercut, and then after I throw that cross uppercut, I saw my elbow out, I brought it back in. I'm going to switch, and I'm going to knee in. All right, take a deep breath. We're starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's the bell right there. All right, so jab, jab to the face, cross to the body. I come back up, I check. I throw that cross and that lead uppercut. I switch. I throw that knee. And again, how you throw the knee is up to you. You can either clinch, get those hands up, boom. You can kind of throw that long knee, using your arms to kind of project your hips and your body forward. But I'll do it in every direction to make sure we're ready to go. Jab, jab, cross, check, cross, uppercut, switch knee. All right? Jab, jab, cross. I check. I throw that cross, and that lead uppercut, I switch. I throw that knee from this direction here. I throw that jab, jab, cross. I bring it back. I check. I throw that cross uppercut. I switch. I throw that knee, and I defend. I always put my hands up at the end. Keep it moving. Just over 2 minutes to go. All right? Let's see what we can do. Again, you can always add a little bit of sauce, a little bit of spice in between. Move your head around. Throw your jab, right? Throw your jab. And then when you're ready, pop, pop, pop. Check. Bang, bang. Boom. That time, notice I have moved back a little bit. I can move forward with my combination. Pop, pop, pop. Bang, bang, bang. Boom. Or I can move backwards, right? I can start here. Pop, pop, pop. Check. Bang, bang, bang. Depends what the energy is, what I want my energy to be, how I'm controlling the fight, how I'm feeling that day, how that opponent is fighting towards me. They might be long, they might be short, they might be someone that puts a lot of pressure. You have to make those adjustments. And that's part of the acting. That's part of the kind of fantasy of shadow boxing, of moving around, that will help you get better. If you can kind of visualize what potentially could happen in front of you, is a person putting pressure. How do you respond? Kind of preparing yourself for what might happen in a fight. I'm putting pressure. How am I going to move forward? And then that's how you add a little bit of variety to your shadow boxing. So you can do the same exact combination a number of times, but one time you have that forward moving energy. Another time you imagine yourself having to move backwards. So it all depends. It all depends. All right. Jab, jab, cross. I check, cross, uppercut. Boom. That's how I went forward and back, right? Jab, jab, cross, check, cross, uppercut. Boom. Switch knee on my way back. Got 30 seconds to go. There's your click right there. All right, let's move it around. Keep circling. Keep circling. Jab, jab, cross, check, cross, uppercut, switch knee. I'm doing it a little bit loose, trying to maintain my energy. I got another 6 rounds to teach after this, but you guys, really stick to your technique, really stick to your discipline in your form and in your movement as you're moving around. All right, you got 4 seconds to go in this round. 3, 2, 1. There's a timer right there. All right, next combination, we're gonna use the swoop. All right, so again, the swoop is, again, that's the word I lose for, because you kind of swoop your leg out of the way. I like to compare it to the pull, right? So when we're fighting, sometimes we pull back and then we come back with strikes. It's the same thing with the legs. Notice I'm not moving my back leg. I use this as an anchor, right? So from here, I just pull back and I come forward. There are things where you do come back and forward. I call that more of a reset. You reset your position, you come back in. The swoop, you're here, boom. Very subtle, very relaxed. I kind of drive my hips back and then I step back forward into the strike. So what we're going to do with that is we're going to swoop, step forward, jab, cross, swoop, step forward, cross, hook. That'll be the drill. Swoop, jab, cross, swoop, cross, hook. And what we're doing is someone goes to kick me, I get out of the way, they swing past, I step in with a 1-2. They go to kick me, I swoop, I step in, 2-3, okay? Let's do that. Moving around, blocking the legs, protecting the legs, responding with hands, all right? So we're here, swoop, jab, cross, all right? Swoop, cross, hook, all right? Swoop, jab, cross. Swoop, cross, hook, okay? Notice I'm planting my feet. I swoop, and then once I step down into it, I still have a solid stance. I throw that strong, solid jab, throw that strong, solid cross, turning my hip, picking my heel up, right? When I swoop, I come back in with a cross, I turn. I step into it, and I turn at the same time, and then same thing with that hook. Sometimes I throw a little bit of a light hook. Maybe I don't pivot my foot a bunch, but you can adjust that yourself. However you like. Both are valid depending on how well you throw it, right? So swoop, jab, cross, right? Swoop, cross, hook, right? The key thing is to swoop, get your leg out of the way so it doesn't get hit, but then step right into a strong stance right away, okay? Move it around, swoop, jab, cross. Okay. Swoop, cross, hook. And this is the type of drilling that gets you better at these movements. You can't do these things 5 times in a 45-minute workout and think that's going to be enough to get better. You got to do it over and over and over and over again, which is why we have these combinations of these rounds sometimes where we drill the same thing over and over. Or even throughout the entire workout, we're working on checks and swoops, right? So that we do enough times to get better at it, right? You got 90 seconds. Boom. From the back, swoop, jab, cross, right? Swoop, cross, hook, right? Boom, like that. Swoop, jab, cross, right? Swoop, cross, hook. Come around, goes in, right? Swoop, jab, cross. Swoop, cross, hook. Swoop, jab, cross. Swoop, cross, hook. That swoop, cross, hook can be very powerful, but it's a little tougher to land, right? Because after I'm here, this is very natural. As I'm here, this you have to kind of dive a little bit into, right? Not with your shoulders, but you have to really bring your body forward and twist at the same time and have a good enough balance, good enough control in your ankles and your calves to land, to be here, boom, and then down, right? Notice it's also sometimes a little bit of my leg, but it's also my hip. Right? I'm not diving forward, right? It's not here, right? My shoulders and my hands kind of stay in the same place, and it's just here, right? Pop, right? Pop, right? Pop. Sometimes we turn it into a switch movement, but we'll do that in one of the other drills, one of the other combinations. Swoop, jab, cross. Pop, pop, pop. And time. Breathe. In through your nose, out through your mouth. So let's try to put that in a combination now, all right? So we'll do just like we did. We're going to be here. Let's throw a jab first. We're going to swoop, come back in, jab, cross, and then we're going to go into a switch jab, step into the cross, all right? So a lot of stuff there, I know, but we're going to put it all together. So it's jab, swoop, jab, cross, switch jab, step into the cross. That step in is kind of could be its own lesson, it could be a lesson by itself, but we're going to do it here now because why not? Let's just get right to it, all right? So I throw my jab, they go to kick me, I swoop, I step back in with my own jab cross. Now, I see that maybe they want to throw a kick again, so I'm going to throw a jab as I swoop back and change my feet completely. Bang! They start moving backwards. I'm going to follow them, so I'm going to step with this back foot, and I'm going to step into my cross, and when I'm done, I should end up in the same position I started. All right, there's the beginning of the round. So it's jab, swoop, jab, cross, switch jab, step into your cross. All right, right down the middle. Jab, swoop, jab, cross, switch jab, step into the cross. Okay? Jab, swoop, jab, cross, switch jab, step into the cross. And that switch jab, in a sense, is almost like an exaggerated swoop, right? Because I'm just bringing my foot back, but instead of stopping here, I'm going all the way. And it starts well because maybe they think every time I'm just doing this. Every time I'm just doing this. And after I've done this a number of times, bang, then I step forward. And I keep the pressure going forward, all right? From the back. Jab, swoop, jab, cross, switch, jab, into the cross. And then again this way. Jab, sorry, a little too much. Jab, swoop, jab, cross, switch jab, cross. Try to keep your chin down the middle. Try not to swing your head so it's not, right? Eyes down the middle, chin down, hand protected on one side, shoulder protected on the other, all right? Jab, swoop, jab, cross, switch, jab, cross. Go slow at first if you need to. Once you feel comfortable, start picking up the pace. This is one of those kind of explosive combinations that can be really effective if you set them up, have them believing that every time you just swoop in and then bang, and you drive forward towards the opponent, all right? Move around, hands up, jab, swoop, jab, jab, swoop, jab, cross, switch, jab, cross. Pop, 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 pop. Always end with your hands up, back out if you need to. We got 60 seconds to go. Try it out. Some fast, some slow, some intense. All right, deep breaths. Squeeze your stomach. Squeeze those legs. See if you can get yourself together using your whole body as one unit. All right? 45 seconds left. Let's go. I always like to do things kind of moderate tempo, moderate pace, moderate intensity, but smooth, very flowy until I feel like I have them. And then eventually I can add that speed back in, right? That power. Boom. Because you can get a lot done with very little power if you have good timing, you got good snap, but you need to be stable, all right? It's going to be one thing if you're loose in your arms, we got nothing behind it. But you can be loose in your arms and still stable, powerful in your legs. So without having to drive a bunch, you can still have like a very impactful, very powerful strike as long as you have a solid base, even if you're loose and snappy with those hands. And time. Good. Going to be going into round 6 next, okay? So now let's respond with some more kicks, all right? So we're going to swoop. So throw that jab, swoop, step in. Actually, let's say knees, all right? So just legs in general. So we're going to throw that jab. And I'd like to start with the jab because I want to bait them to throw that kick. As soon as I kind of land on my jab, I land here. Might show them that I'm kind of heavy on that foot, or they might think I'm about to be heavy on that foot because I got to base myself, right? I'm not just going to throw the jab like this. I want to kind of base myself. So they're going to think that leg is heavy. So I'm going to swoop it out. And now I'm going to set through into a knee. All right, so it's going to be jab, swoop. As I reset my foot, right, as I recover right to where I was, jab, swoop here. I want to come back to where I was. I'm going to use that to launch a knee right up the middle, right? So jab, swoop, step, knee. I bring it down. I'm going to throw a big straight kick right from that back leg. Let's keep the combination just at that so we can throw those 2 big strikes. My thinking is that I throw that jab. They go to kick the leg. I get out of the way. I step big into knee because maybe they throw that kick and dive forward. So I throw that knee into their chest. Maybe they get out of the way, and as they move back, now I reach with that long snap kick. We're not going to throw a teep, right? We're going to throw a snap kick up towards their face. Boom. I'm going to chamber, and I'm going to hinge at the knee to come up. So again, round's already started. Let's do it. So we're going to go jab, swoop. I throw the knee. I plant, long kick, right? And you can even take a step into that long, straight snap kick. So jab, swoop. I throw that knee. I come here. Boom. I can throw that snap kick right up to the chin. Pop. Hopefully pop their head back. If they had a lot of this kind of retreating energy, that's that long kick that you threw the knee, and then from that same leg, bang. Follow them back. Maybe they won't get out of the way, all right? So again, here, jab, swoop, knee, step in, straight kick. I'm curling my toes back, but I like to keep it pretty loose most of the rest of the time. If I'm out on the street, I'm just keeping my feet relaxed, and I'm hitting them with the bottom of my sneaker, right? Jab, slip, swoop, here, bang, right in. Relax on those feet. Jab, swoop, knee, kick. Good. And I can even slow it down a little bit. It'll still be effective, right? Jab, swoop, knee, bang. Move it around. Jab, swoop, knee, bang, kick. Again, I did a little bit of a different thing there. You know, again, there's variety. There's variables you could tweak. You know, like knobs on a mixing board if you're doing music, right? To turn things up a little bit, turn some other things down. That's how I went jab, swoop. I threw that knee, boom. I came forward, and then I followed them with that straight kick in the back. It can work like that. So if you're a little bit more intermediate, advanced, you want to kind of throw a little bit of that sauce, a little bit of that spice on there, go for it, all right? At the very base, it's jab, swoop, knee, I put it down, I step, and I throw that snap kick. Keeping my hands up, swinging my arm. I'm not all the way back here with my swing, right? Keep it right past my leg, bang. All right, jab, swoop, knee, good. Straight kick. Move it around, give me some footwork. You got 40 seconds. Jab, swoop, knee, bang. Bang. Push. Push. Bang. My buddy Yaya that I train with, Jungle Boy, on Instagram, I tag him in a bunch of stuff. He's great at this. He's very subtle, very relaxed. He'll be here, boom. Just great reaction. He's got good timing, and he's just very smooth. I go to kick him, bang, bang. He's super slippery. His whole fighting style is very slippery. If you know what I'm talking about, you take classes with him. Very, very great defensive fighter, and really tough to hit his legs because he is very good with that swoop. All right, let's do, we're going into round 7. I want to do one more time, the same drill from the beginning, just working the check, but this time let's add the swoop in there, all right? So we're going to check, 1, 2, check, 2, 3, swoop, 1, 2. All right, just adding that third thing. There's no swoop really for the back leg. There's some stuff that I don't think is necessary to teach. You might learn it at some places, but with me, we're going to keep it simple. So really, that front leg is one that's always vulnerable because it's stepping forward, right? The check from the back leg is usually the most effective thing. So check, 1, 2, check, 2, 3, swoop, 1, 2. Start it again. Check, 1, 2. Just like that. We're starting in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Here we go. Round 7. All right. Drilling. Check. 1, 2. Check. 2, 3. Swoop. 1, 2. Check. 1, 2. We can go swoop. 1, 2. Check. 2, 3. Let's do that. Maybe that's easier, right? Check. 1, 2. Swoop. 1, 2. Check. 2, 3. It doesn't matter. This is just for a drill. Maybe it's a little bit smoother to do the two things with the front leg at the beginning. But again, in a fight, it's not like you can be doing it in that specific order. You know, whatever makes sense. But whatever's comfortable for you to drill, I just want lots of reps, right? Check. 1, 2, swoop. 1, 2, check. 2, 3. Check. 1, 2, swoop. 1, 2, check. 2, 3. Check. 1, 2, swoop. 1, 2, check. 2, 3. Check. 1, 2, swoop. 1, 2, check. 2, 3. Check. 1, 2, swoop. 1, 2, check. 2, 3. All right. You got 1:45 to go. Same thing. Just try to do it over and over. You start to get tired. See if you can reduce your intensity, but continue going, because what's going to really get you better at these things, again, is the reps, separately from if they're really thrown heavily, intense, or if they're thrown pretty low and relaxed. All right, let's go. Check, 1, 2, swoop, 1, 2, check, 2, 3. Less than 90 seconds left. Remember to stay light on your feet. Try to keep those heels up. I was working with someone today. They were doing a great job, but you know, one thing that I kept pounding down on them was to make sure that the heels were up. Again, you don't have to walk around like you're in high heels, but you want to keep the weight in the front of your feet. It's very important with this type of stuff because it's tough to check if you're very flat-footed. You have all that weight heavy. You want to be loose, even if you have maybe a little bit more of a narrow tie stance, right where you're here, or you have a little bit more of a boxing, an MMA style stance. You can still check as long as you keep your stomach tight and you keep your heels up. Right? You got to be light on those feet. You got 45 seconds to go. Just under 40 seconds to go now. All right, let's go. Move it around. Check. 1, 2, swoop. 1, 2, check. 2, 3. Notice I'm still making an effort to turn my shoulders every time. Even though I'm focused on the defense and the blocking with the legs, I'm making an effort to continue moving my body and initiating all my movement, all my strikes from my hips and my shoulders, as you should with pretty much everything we do. All right, last 15 seconds. And time. Good. We got one last round of combinations left. All right, we'll throw one combo. And then in the final round, like we always do, we'll do 3 minutes of freestyle. You can throw anything you like. All right, so for round 8, let's do this. From here, let's throw a jab, check, jab, cross, swoop, cross, hook, check, round kick. All right, a lot of stuff, I know. Jab, check, jab, cross, swoop, cross, hook, check, roundhouse. Okay, I'll do it again. We still got 30 seconds, so if you need to pause and look it over, that's fine. It's going to be a jab, check, jab, cross, swoop, cross, hook, cross, hook, check, and then roundhouse. Okay, longer combo uses basically all 3 major, foot or leg defenses that we did today, but I want you to put them all together. We'll do it again. We'll start. I'll do it in all 4 directions. And time. Here's your 8th round, right? So jab, jab, check, jab, cross, swoop, cross, hook, check with the back leg, respond with the roundhouse. Facing this direction, right? jab, check, jab, cross, swoop, cross, hook, check, switch with the roundhouse. Facing this direction. Jab, jab, check, jab, cross, swoop, cross, hook, check, boom. Roundhouse in that direction. So try it in all the directions like I do too. As you're going through this, you got 2.5 minutes to go. That was only 30 seconds of movement. It felt like longer. But I want you to move around. Notice I'm making an effort, not just so you guys can see me from all these different directions, because it's good, but also because it is good to train yourself as a fighter to move, right? To move to your left, right? Move to your right. Come forward, come back. So as you're going through these combinations, to try to do the same thing I do, north, south, east, west, northwest, southeast, whatever it is, right? Try to move in different directions and throw that combination in different ways. So if you're looking in a mirror, you can see yourself in different directions, but also you train yourself to constantly move forward, back, side to side. All right. We got 1:45 to go. Same thing. So jab, check, jab, cross, swoop, cross, hook, check with the back leg, step down with the roundhouse. All right. Let's go. And again, with my roundhouse, you'll notice a lot of times I do it with my foot flat. It's just for balance, so I don't mess up my knees. But if you can practice getting your toe up and then coming back, if you're a little bit more warmed up than I am, feel free to practice being on your toes. Or if you're on a bag, all right, same thing. If I'm on that bag, jab, check, jab, cross, swoop, cross, hook, check, boom. It's a little bit easier to throw the roundhouse with my heel up when I have the bag, because I have something kind of catching my momentum. But just do the best you can, like I said at the beginning of the workout, like I said at the beginning of every workout. Listen to your body, act accordingly, so that we end this workout in better shape than we started, right? Last minute to go. Let's keep it up. I'll shut up and throw this combination again. Jab, check, jab, cross, swoop, cross, hook, check, roundhouse. All right, let's go. Move it around. Face you again. Jab, check, jab, cross, swoop, cross, hook, check, bang, roundhouse. Good. Last 30 seconds starting, boom, right now. Let's go. Keep it up. Jab, check, jab, cross, swoop, cross, hook, check, bang, roundhouse. Recover. Last 18 seconds. Breathe. Let's get through it and finish this last combo. It's a little bit long, I know, but do the best you can. It's always my main focus. I don't need perfection. I just need progress. I need input. All right. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Good. This is your last rest before we go into the final round, and final round will be freestyle. As always, I want you guys to move around. I want you to use lots of checks, all right? Checks, lots of swoops. Show me, I can't see, but show yourself show yourself that you're able to incorporate this movement, that you're able to incorporate it into your combinations, and that you can think defensively while thinking offensively, right? So you're going to move around. You don't have to always start with the check, right? You can throw combinations, then check. You could throw kicks, check, and then respond. Either way, you could respond with kicks after the checks. You can respond with strikes after the checks. You can respond after the swoop with legs. You can respond after the swoop with hands, with elbows. I didn't throw any elbows or anything today, really, at all. But we threw that one knee. Either way, respond however you can. You got 1 minute. I'm sorry, 3 minutes. Let's get freestyled. Let's go. Bang. That's round 9. You're freestyling. You're moving around. Mix it up. All right. Mix in that switch jab as well. Lots of stuff to play with. But again, you don't have to make it super complicated. You don't have to get overly creative with yourself. Creativity is great and probably more important for you advanced fighters, you intermediate fighters, to kind of give yourself a little bit of your own style. But even us advanced fighters, along with the beginners, need to drill those basics, drill those fundamentals over and over. And just because we learned it once doesn't mean we keep it forever. We got to keep doing it. We got to keep practicing it at a high level of technique and proficiency in order to stay proficient at the movements themselves. All right. You got 2 minutes to go. Keep moving around. Again, you can go intense. You can really hit hard, or you can just stay, kind of flowy and consistent. But again, I want lots of checking. I want lots of swooping. I want a lot of responses off of it. Sometimes you throw away a switch kick like that, but I just want to get my legs loosened up, right? Coming down to the last minute. You got about 52 seconds left. So see what you can do. Try to stay on top of it. If you can, start pushing up the energy a little bit. All right, maybe we're taking it easy for a couple rounds. It's the last thing in the workout. So let's try to nudge it up a little bit. Challenge yourself. Get that heart rate up. Push yourself to end strong. End as strong as you began, if not stronger. All right? 30 seconds. There's your mark right there. Finish it up. Check. Swoop. Switch jab. Right? Whatever you got in you. Always stay safe, but try to keep moving. Try to keep moving. 18 seconds. I'm going to count it down. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there's time. Great work, gang. Thanks for sticking through. Stick around for the cool down and the stretch. So just like we did at the beginning to warm up, we're going to use the same shadow boxing to cool down. And you'll see that I'm staying very relaxed, very light. The idea here is to just cool down our body, slow down our heart rate, slow down our breathing, and to keep our muscles from tensing up after what was hopefully a challenging workout. We can keep the movement simple and straightforward. You can see I'm throwing very fundamental strikes, jabs, crosses, a little bit of defense, knees, round kicks. Because again, just the way we used our entire body for the workout, we want to make sure we cool down our entire body at the end. I'm also making use of my space, stepping forward, stepping back, moving to my right, moving to my left, making sure that I involve as many of my limbs and as much of my movement and range of motion as possible to just slowly bring myself down back to zero, back to a relaxed post-workout state. Remember to stay breathing throughout, and again, keep it simple. And finally, for the stretch, keep your feet wider than your shoulders, and let's reach down for our toes. Try to keep the legs straight, stretch through the back of the legs. You can reach over to one side and then to the other, nice and loose. And then when we can, let's put a little bend in the knees, get your body a little bit lower, let your head get heavy, and feel that stretch in your lower back. When you're ready, we're going to bring the butt all the way down, put those elbows on those knees, stretching the knees to the outside, getting a stretch on the inside of the legs. Flatten out your feet if you can. You can extend one leg, get a stretch on the bottom and the inside of that leg, and then we'll switch to the other side doing the same thing. Just trying to get a stretch laterally on the insides of the legs. When you're ready, let's sit back up, drag those hands to your hips, and give me hip rotations to one side. Really push out on the outsides, behind and forward. And then let's start going back the other way. Big circles. Feel the push out on the hips as you do so. From here, we'll lean to one side, pull the ankle towards your back. Keep the knees together, stretch the quad. Switch to the other side, same thing, keeping the knees together, stretching that quad. And then we'll place both feet on the ground and twist our upper back, getting that stretch in that mid-back. From here, let's pull the hands back behind yourself, stretch out the chest, chin to the ceiling, extend the arms. Put the wrists on the lower back, elbows forward, chin down to the ground, stretch the rotator cuffs. Chest in. You can take one arm, put it to the side, pull on the back of the shoulder, and give me circles in the wrist. Let's switch, do the same thing to the other side. stretching the back of the arm and giving some mobility and circles in the wrist. Pull the arm over the top of your head, pull on the elbow, and just lean lightly to one side, stretching the spine, switching, going lightly and slowly to the other side, staying in a straight line as you do it. And then we'll come back up to the middle, relax the shoulders, and then pull the head gently to one side. Switch gently to the other side, again, keeping the shoulders relaxed throughout. Chin to your shoulder, chin to your other shoulder, chin to your chest, and time. Very good. Let's finish with the deep bow. We're going to go knees on the ground. Think of something that you're grateful for. Think of something we did in class, and let's meditate on that just for a few breaths down here at the bottom. Us. Take another deep breath in and exhale as you come out. Great work. Thanks for coming through. We'll see you soon.